Floss. It is essential for good dental hygiene. Take a long walk now and then, eat several servings of fruit a day, don't drink caffeine before bed, attempt to sleep at least 7 hours a night, and accept that he/she is never coming back. Accept that the past is irreparable, and dwelling on it will change nothing. Dwell on it anyway, and then move on. Travel. Alone, if you can. Avoid the tourist traps, learn 1 to 10 and please and thank you in the local language, and you've already surpassed 90% of all the tourists who have ever been there before you. Acquire new talents for the sake of acquiring them. If you're young, learn an instrument if possible. You will never have this much free time ever again. Exercise at least 3 times a week, vigorously. Buy clothes that fit properly. You will notice the difference in your dating life. Always check your system has the specs to run the game. Fuck. Always check the milk is in date. Fuck. Always check the lid hasn't fallen down. Fuck! Except there will be whole weeks when you understand nothing and everything hurts. Except sometimes stupid people get lucky and sometimes smart people never make it. Except that girl in class likely isn't going to strike up a conversation first, but if you do, it will probably go alright. Except that just because it's weird doesn't mean it's clever. Except that George Lucas does deserve respect, regardless of the prequels. Except it's okay if you can't use chopsticks. And accept that there is a set point in the future, after your death, when you will be thought about for the final time by a friend or family member, and then forgotten from history forever. Spend more time with your parents if they're alive, even if they are knobends. There will come a time when they will be gone, and there will be no one to phone home to, no more hugs, no more bickering, no more in-jokes from your childhood. Argue about politics if you must, but accept that the other person won't change their view if you start being a dick. Besides, even from a tactical perspective, being nice is always more likely to persuade someone anyway. Follow cutting-edge physics if you have the time. It is the process of humans learning to speak fluent universe. Accept that expensive whiskey is almost always worth the money. Accept that expensive running shoes are almost never worth the money. Accept that YouTubers and online personalities are often people who couldn't get into the field they wanted to. Do not take their word as gospel, especially pretentious advice from disembodied smart-ass narrators whose life is probably considerably duller than yours. Attempt to tolerate meta-humor. Accept that no one is in charge, not properly, and no one has a handle on any of this. Not even Stephen Fry. Avoid the new season of Twin Peaks if you wish to conserve your sanity. Watch it if not. Come to terms with the fact that there is probably no absolute truth that you'll grasp in your lifetime. However, if someone at a party tries to tell you everything is relative, invite them to exit the building from the 5th floor and see if gravity is also a social fucking construct. Do not be intimidated by people who use long words. They are likely more insecure about their own intelligence than you are. Instead, afford them your most effervescently magnanimous approbation. Before tidying up, make the bed. Suddenly everything will seem easier. Visit the dentist at regular intervals. Read Ray Bradbury. Always. Do not purchase cheap sellotape. It is about time someone stuck it to those bastards. Embrace your own eccentricity. What made you a freak as a kid will likely make you an interesting adult. Learn the names and positions of at least 4 constellations. I recommend Orion, Ursa Minor, Ursa Major, and Cassiopeia. This is guaranteed to be useful in a romantic setting at some point. Try to eat less salt, try to eat more vegetables, try to accept that happiness isn't a constant state, nor does it come for free. It is a chemical reward for hard work, and to get more of it, one has to do more hard work. This applies to careers, relationships, friendships, and especially Factorio. Diet, if you want to, but acknowledge that all diets, however elaborate, are all variations on eat less, move more. Keep a journal if you have time. It'll serve as a snapshot for how silly your life decisions are right now. And you can read it in 10 years and chuckle and write some more. And then you can read that in another 10 years and have another chuckle. Great fun. If you're of legal age, vote for Christ's sake. Attempt to locate your passions. When you locate them, see if they can be monetized. If they can, congratulations, you've just discovered your career. Prepare for crippling failure. It is the ultimate character building, and almost no one successful has ever avoided it happening to them multiple times. If something terrible befalls you, and you think nothing this bad has ever happened to anyone ever before, remember it has, worse, repeatedly, and to almost everyone. They got through it. Some of them are probably going through it right now. They just haven't told you. You will almost certainly be fine. Stay away from synthetic weed. Resist the appeal of depressing nihilism. If everything is pointless, you may as well just be in a good mood anyway. Grow some kind of novelty facial hair if necessary, but don't get all uppity when no one takes you seriously. In the words of John Waters, if you go home with somebody and they don't have books, don't fuck 'em. Spend good money on mattresses. Don't put sugar in someone else's tea unless specifically requested to. Do not dig down. Ignore all of the previous instructions, except this, and most important and vital to happy living without parallel, floss. It is essential for good dental hygiene.